Yo. Hey, Megan, how are you? I'm just doing a few things, getting sorted out here. So just give me a thumbs up or a hey if you can see me and you can hear me. That would be amazing. I know a lot of people will probably watch this well after it was live, and that's cool. But if you can see me and you can hear me, let me know in the comments so I know that everything's okay. Okay. Loud and clear. Great. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. All right. Well, here we are. So 11:30 Thursday morning in Oz. Where are you guys watching? What time is it? Where you are? Where you at? What have you been up to? Let me know in the comments. Just in case everyone is coming on and looking, this dot on my nose, which just seems like a dot, just in case people are wondering what's with the dot. Yeah, that's a blood blister on my nose from being kicked in the face by my 3-year-old. So if you're wondering why there's a purple dot on my nose, it's because I've been kicked in the face by my 3-year-old. Yeah, it doesn't sound very legal in most situations. What happened to you? I got kicked in the face. Oh, really? Who did that? You should report. Oh, it's my 3-year-old. Ah. Little bastard gets away with it. Anyway, yeah, ouch, all right. NYC, 9:30, long day at work and studying. Oh, what are you studying? PSN. And Megan, 9:30 p.m., Tampa, Florida. Your hubby has COVID. You're being quarantined from one another. Currently playing Animal Crossing. Yeah, this is really big at the moment. I don't know about you guys whether you're in the States or wherever you are in the world, but there seems to be a new strain of Omicron, and as a result, a new wave. They're predicting here in Australia, at least, what they're calling the third wave. So that's really, and as a result of this kind of third wave and this new strain, they're finding that our numbers are skyrocketing, hence the wave. And in addition to that, exactly what's happening to you, Megan, is happening here in Oz. So, people are getting it, and they're getting it off their partners. So, yeah, you're a nurse. Okay, you're seeing tons of new cases. Yeah, well, there you go. See, and my wife, she works in healthcare as well, and you're exactly right. It's you can't escape it. So this is happening a lot. People, people are getting it, whether it's from school or from work, and then for one reason or another, they're passing on to their family. And I think they're saying one of the main reasons is it's not so much about people not kind of complying, but it's that the rats, people call them rat tests, but that's saying rapid antigen tests. So anyway, people that do the rapid antigen tests are getting like a COVID clear, a negative. They're getting a negative. But in fact, what they're saying is that now that the data is saying with the new strain, it's like a bingo, a lotto. It's a gamble. There's a lot of false negatives. I think they said something like 4 out of 10 rat tests with the new strains are coming up as false negatives, therefore were positive. So a lot of people are testing, doing the right thing. It's saying, oh, I've got COVID, I'm sweet. And then they end up realizing that they maybe did have it or have it, and the rest of the family gets it, and it all goes to rubbish. So it's really interesting how it's all kind of coming back to the surface again. Anyway, it's good to see everyone, and I know it's all different times of the world. So Timothy's in Melbourne. Yep. Okay. So whether it's morning time or night time, I find that a lot of people, when I talk about live streams on the communities, I like to do live streams. I find that it's really hard because a lot of people in the community are based in North America, and other people in the community are based in Europe. So my understanding is it's really so it's 8:35 in Texas. Yep. Hey, Buttercups made it. Well done. It's so what are we looking at here? We're looking at, so it's 9:35 p.m. down the east coast of the US, 6:36 now down the west coast, and there's a Pacific time too, right? So Denver 7:36. Is that Mountain Time? I can't get the difference. Toronto lines up, and then you got London. It's 2:36 in the morning. Okay, so if you are watching this live stream in London or in parts of Europe, that's amazing. Why aren't you sleeping? I'm certain you aren't. What I'll do is I'll try and do another one of these live streams like really soon, like very soon, at an entirely different time to try and line it up. I think how to be quite late at night for me, to be kind of middle of the day for you guys in Europe. Anyway, it's great to see you. If you're coming onto the live chat now, it'd be amazing if you would say hey. Let me know where you're joining us from. It'd be great to talk to you. So please, if you're joining us, please say hey. Let us know you're here. Let us know where you're watching from. You know, you can give me your time and stuff if you want. It's great to hear where you're watching from, and also make sure, as I always say, the whole point of the community on my YouTube channel isn't actually about me. It's about you. So when I do live streams, as I said, if there's things you want me to talk about, if there's things you want to run by me, things you want to hear me talk about, put them in the comments, whether it's comments or questions or just things you would like me to kind of discuss. Whack them in the comments. But the point I'm saying is this isn't about me. This is about you guys. So feel free to introduce yourself as well to other people in the chat, because you guys are clearly here for a very similar reason, whether that is a late diagnosis later in life, or someone in your life, or just a real interest. You're here for a reason, and presumably that reason is similar to most. So I think it's important that you guys as a community should kind of get to know each other and bounce off each other and chat and help. And so, yeah, this has got nothing to do with me, the community stuff. I'm here to chat, but you guys should connect as well. Connections are fantastic. So, yeah, like, for example, Megan's asking everyone in the chat room at the moment if there's any other late or self-diagnosed autistic adults. So, you know, there's the people in the chat room, you know, you guys can chat to Megan about, you may have similar experiences, and that's what it's all about. So thank you for watching on this impromptu live stream. I come from a radio background, so there's a thing called dead air, which is when you stop talking. That's bad in radio. Radio dead air bad. So I have this inbuilt inability to understand that it would be okay if there was complete silence. But I'm going to accept that you guys are okay, that there might be silence while I read some of the comments and think, process. I'm assuming you're going to be okay with that. If I was on the radio, I'd be fired and I'd be horrified. So let's look at what we've got. David, Pittsburgh. Fantastic. Diagnosed in your 30s this year. Fantastic. Congratulations, David. Congratulations, because, you know, this shouldn't be a death sentence. It should be a celebration. There's nothing just roses and sunshine about being autistic, but there also is a celebration of knowing that you are autistic. You are not a bad person. You're not like just an outcast. You know, you're different. Celebrate that. So thanks, Dave. K. Paul, diagnosed 2 weeks ago in your 40s. Congratulations, my friend. And well, K. Paul, share with the group, put it in the comments. How did that impact your life? You were diagnosed in your 40s. Now, most people, they said it to me, most people will say, what do you want a diagnosis for? Like, what? You're in your 30s, you're married, you have kids, got a cool career. Like, what do you want? And I'm thinking to myself, I want it because I don't feel like I'm part of anything. And I feel like most people just think I'm a bad person, and I don't really see the point of being here. So if there's a thing that could help me understand myself, that would be good. So, but how has it helped you, K. Paul? There was a comment or a question from Duke. Hey, Duke. When you were at uni, how difficult was it for you to get disability aid? I'm entering my senior year of college and was just diagnosed. Okay, cool, Duke. Good, good point. Okay, so I'm going to assume you're talking about North American kind of higher education, uni, college, senior year. This is interesting. Okay, so the first thing is, I think it's pretty important, and I've just done a video on disclosure. I don't know, Duke, if you saw my most recent video on disclosure. I talk about education and uni. I actually cover this topic, so you should go and check out my video on disclosure. But from your point of view, let's answer your question. So if you don't know, you can't disclose, right? You can't disclose. Fair enough. Okay, but I think as soon as you do know, and you're already in the environment you want to be in, I think it's important to be completely upfront and also on the front foot of what would help you. Because I think what my experience with a kind of a disability support services environment at the uni I went to, they're all like, the people in that department are amazing. They actually want to help. They're in it for the right reasons, but they're not used to this type of approach. They're used to more obvious things, like someone who uses a wheelchair or someone who is vision impaired or hearing impaired, these types of things. So uni people that maybe just need someone to walk them around, or a hearing loop, or whatever that may be. Does that make sense? Better access. But I think from an autism point of view, it's much harder. It's like, well, okay, so yeah, you can see, you can hear, you can move, you're able-bodied, you're obviously intelligent because you're at college. Well, what do you mean? What do you got here? You've made it to senior year. What's the difference? And for me, I would say, well, the difference is from starting to now, I now have a reason why I know why certain things have been an issue for me, why I've struggled in certain things. And I think from your point of view, looking at senior year, if you go back to your years prior and you can pinpoint the things that you struggled most with and understand that's probably why, then you can then use that to present to them. From my point of view, it's front foot stuff. Get on the front foot. Let them know your diagnosis, be that ADHD, autism. Here's how I've struggled. Here's where I'm really struggling. And here's what will really be helpful to me. Now, because we can't get angry at people for giving us what they're being told to give, right? And I find the stock standard approach when you disclose in an education facility, the stock standard approach is time. I've seen many advocates talk about this. It's just stupid. Time. That's it. Oh, you're autistic, are you? Okay, I will give you 2 extra weeks on all essays or, semester assessments, written pieces. You get 2 extra weeks, stock standard. Don't even have to ask for it. Okay. Or in exams, I'll give you 10 minutes extra an hour, or your own room, right? Or a break every hour. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is why I think it's stupid. Okay. Oh, thanks so much for giving me an extra 2 weeks. That gives me an extra 2 weeks to do nothing. That gives me an extra 2 weeks to still not know the content that I'm supposed to write about. Thanks so much. Thanks for giving me an extra 10 minutes at my exam. That way, I can spend an extra 10 minutes stressing out and melting down and shutting down about why I can't remember everything I'm supposed to have learned or do it the right way. It doesn't help. If you want to help people, what you've got to do, what you've actually got to do is you've got to help people learn. You go to an institution to not be assessed. You go to an institution to be taught, to gain information. So I don't. Yeah, it's all. I always struggle with this, and I'll tell you why. I struggle with this because, well, I think the main issue I struggle with this is because why have we got to the point where the actual powers that think that if you want to help autistic people in an education environment, the best way to do that is to provide them with more time, because that they process and stuff. And my issue is education departments, it's time to grow up. Your job is to teach us how good your job did. But if you don't actually provide us with better ways to learn, and then you assess us and it goes bad, that's not about me, that's about you. Does that make sense? So anyway, now, I'm trying to flick through as many comments as can. I'm going to go back up and read. There's a couple. From time to time you get dudes that come in. Random name dudes, random, whatever you want to call them. And you can just ignore that stuff. If I get the time, I'm happy to delete it and hide them. But you know what? From our point of view, like who cares, right? The only people who are what they're writing are those people. So it is what it is, man. Like, do your thing, dude. Like, oh, we're all laughing with you, man. Well done. You're so smart. You can use a keyboard. Wow, I typed it. Yeah, did you? Cool, man. Like, great, good for you, dude. Seriously, this is the thing about as an autistic person, trolls, whatever, man. Like, I was born to troll, except in like a genuine kind of pure way. So, like, you must think that you're dealing with like a normal person that actually cares. So go get your 700 accounts and put your silly little words. Oh, he spelt a word. You can't even spell a word. What, you're doing it line by line? Fantastic. Wow. Thanks, man. By the way, how good are we? We are now so good that nuffs, utter brain dead organisms simmering on the sun think this is it. This is the place to be. I've made it. Hey. All right. What does that spell? I'm not sure that spells. Gee, no what it spells. I mean, seriously, whatever, man. Do it the whole time. I don't care. It doesn't bother us. I'm just going to stick to the comments of the people that are here for the right reasons. Okay, so here we go. I want to get through this here. So PSN's talking about anxiety and relatively new relationship, going great, except for some worry about whether they actually like you. Caught, okay, on your peculiarities and stuff. Okay. Megan's got an assessment. Sounds silly, but TikTok really made me realize I am autistic, hearing other TikToks, other autistic people. Megan, that's 100% right. Whether it's TikTok or whatever, when you hear from actually autistic people, that's usually the stuff that cuts through and drives you to at least look into the possibility of an assessment. That's why I always talk about advocacy as an actually autistic person. Gone are the days where we should be listening to pure academics with no actual connection. Like, they go home at night, they're not autistic, they can just live their life. We can't do that. So I'm happy to hear that, Megan. And so Duke's just found the channel, so you can go back and look at that stuff. That's cool, the disclosure stuff. But I hope, Duke, the stuff I talked about, I got distracted by the nuffs. But what I was trying to say was, you need to be on the front foot. You can tell them, look, by the way, just in case the default thing is more time, I'll take the more time, but I still need you to understand that I've got to learn the stuff differently. I'm going to need assistance there as well. And I would get on the front foot. Senior year is an important year. Make it count, my friend, and don't take any crap. In the end, it's a God-given right. It's a breach of discrimination law to take that chance away from you. All right. Now, we want to talk about the PSN. And everyone in the group, as I said, if you're in this group, this is not about me, this is about you. So I'd be super stoked if you would help answer questions in your own experiences. If you are an autistic person who's dated someone and you have a bit of anxiety about that new relationship because it's going really well, but you think maybe they'll start to see you mask less and more autistic, and that might go bad, or wondering, trying to get a read on someone. So give some advice in the comments. From my point of view, PSN, what I'd say is, and I say this all the time, I can't take away your anxiety. No matter what I say, I can't take away your anxiety. Whether you have a diagnosed anxiety like I do, or whether you're an autistic person, you're anxious. Anxiety is built in to being autistic. It's built in. It is what I can't fix that for you. What I can say is, what I say to myself, what I say to others is, diagnosis or no diagnosis, no one is ever going to become attracted to you or interested in you or want to enter into a relationship with you of any kind. And unless the package of you was attractive to them, brought them in. So diagnose, you don't need a bit of paper. You as a person, and people can say masking. Yeah, but masking is still a version of you masking. It's still version of masking is a version of an autistic person acting neurotypical, which is actually isn't that possible. That's why we fail. So from my point of view, that's how I would look at it. Okay, if you're with someone and it's going great, and it's something you're wondering about, you should. I mean, I can't turn off the anxiety. That's being autistic. But you should think, well, hang on, like I'm still me. I haven't given like a formal letter or anything. I'm still me. My wife, in my case, we were married before a diagnosis. We met before a diagnosis, but that doesn't mean that I was any different. There was still something about me, maybe the quirkiness, the difference. There was still something about the person that you're with that connected with you on a certain level. So that's where I like to try and say it. I don't think I can help anxiety for autistic people. I think people that try to are wrong. I think all they should really do is let that person vent, listen to them, and then tell them what they would, what they do to try and help, on the premise that it doesn't always work. And that's what I try to do. I hope that helps, PSN. Okay. Okay, Paul. Okay, so it's about, yeah, all right. Big guys, 45. Dave, again, I'm just looking at some comments here, guys. Yeah, so Dave talking about the initial experience for him when I asked him about how it's changed because it was a later diagnosis, a huge relief. And I think the relief is something everyone feels. You get a diagnosis later in life, it's actually relieving. When you get it early in life, like a kid, it's actually nothing. For most kids, they're like, oh, okay, right? It's not until they get bullied or something. Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. As an adult, it's like, whoa, huge relief. I'm not a bad person. But you say, Dave, you're struggling to find resources for adults, meaningful resources for adults on the spectrum. Yeah, if only there was a autistic advocate YouTuber who put out weekly videos and produced podcasts to provide. Hang on a second, Dave. I know a resource. It's me. All right, I'm sorry. Other videos. Being a dude, a friend of mine who's in a long-term hiatus, but I still chat to from time to time. We still catch up from time to time, check in. Hunter Hansen, Life Autistic. I mean, the guy has zillions of views. The guy hasn't worked on videos in like over a year, and he still gets more views than I would ever dream of. So that's some good resources there. With regards to books or information, I would look, this is tricky. You really need to look for autistic organizations that are legitimate. This is a problem. This is why I almost say just stay away from them all, because it's hard to know who's who. Who's dressed up as the wolf and who's dressed up as the sheep, and who's the wolf dressed up as the sheep, and who's the sheep. Oh, hang on a second. How many people are dressed up in this story? You know what I'm saying? It's tricky. I get what you're saying, my friend. People can write them in the comments, okay? If you'd like to write the resources that you know of for Dave, put them in the comments. But can you do me a favor? Can you write each word by putting one letter in every line? No, don't do that. You have to be what they're writing to do that. Oh, good times. Good times, big guys 45s. Thank you for coming. Well done. And you can see that other people are chiming in, right? People are chiming in, like Buttercup's talking about, being treated for something, never considered autistic, saw a psychologist, diagnosis, the whole idea of it, the interactions, all those things. So this is really important. And hey to everyone who's joined us, I want to say, number one, thank you so much for coming onto this live chat. Thank you so much for taking the time, because life is life and it's hard. You can watch my videos whenever. This is a live chat. So if you're watching it live, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. And what I wanted to say to you was these aren't about me. I'm here. I can answer any questions, anything you want me to answer. But what I need you to understand is this is about you. And what I mean is your community, you join a community. I'm just one person. Your community is in that live chat. Okay, if you're watching this back later, I've enabled the the live chat that was on during the actual streaming to be viewed. You can watch this as it happens, and you can maybe see some of the answers and some of the questions. And I think it's absolutely super important that you guys understand the live chat and the community is for you, not for me, for you. I'm here to answer your questions, but if you can answer the questions you see typed in there from fellow community members, do it. Say hey, hello to each other, support each other. And give me a second. I want to just quickly go through some of these because it's just jumping everywhere. All right. Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. So Megan's talking about a personal opinion is the best thing to do is work on unmasking and be yourself. If you end up in a long-term relationship, they will see the real you and want to know that and know that, yeah, no, okay, so that makes sense. That's on the relationship thing. I agree. No point being someone I ain't is what PSN is getting from that. PSN, well, maybe, not really. I think the point of life is being who you are. That's the point of life. It's the hardest thing to do, though. Is anyone in life ever who they are? Or is everyone in life, who you think, am I being who I think you think I am? Say it again. Am I being who I think you think I am? Or am I ever just being who I think I am? And even that, is that who I think I am or who I am? Or am I just being me? It's tricky. The point that Megan's saying and I'm saying, PSN, is regardless of masking or not masking or dropping the mask completely or continuing to mask or whatever, it's still you. It's still coming through you. You're still shining through. The reasons that people are attracted to you is because of who you are. And who you are, if you're autistic, is an autistic person. So, yeah, the anxiety of relationships, I get it. When they're neurotypical, they're not autistic. I get it. But I think it's simplify it. Well, they've spent more than a minute with you, right? They're still hanging out with you. Okay, so they like you. And it's not the masked version of you. It's just the version of you that you're currently presenting. Now, you may become far less masked down the track, and that might be too much for them. But that's the same as everyone in life. Like, people become too much for people all the time. I mean, you don't just quit and give up. I mean, like, this is called hard work. Relationships are manageable, cultivating garden type things, right? So that's really useful. If you're in the comments, continue to help people out. But yeah, Megan, great stuff. PSN, thank you. So yeah, and David's talking about he's been married 10 years, but just diagnosed. Explains so much of our relationship. How so, Dave? Yeah, but that's a good point for me too. I met my wife, was married. We had it was through our first kids assessment that mine popped up because it was like every question was the same, every answer. We were the same. I find a lot of adults that have kids are coming to the assessment or diagnosis autism phase through their kids. And what I would say to that is this should not be earth-shattering to you. In fact, you're delusional if you have an autistic parent or you have an autistic child and you think that neither you nor the other human that was involved in making that child are also autistic. Sure, there are chances of generational skipping and stuff, but it's genetically passed on for the most part. So it's like a no duh. Oh, I've got a son who's autistic. Well, then one of us has to be, or one of us probably is. And if I'd never asked the question and every answer is the same, then yeah, it pops up. So it is very interesting, the marriage thing, because it's a big change. And I think my neurotypical wife may sometimes go, well, who did I marry? And that to which I say, well, I had no diagnosis, but you married the same person. It's still me. And the stuff that you like about me is the stuff that really defines me as someone who's different, right? The way I think and act and interact. And so I think it was always there. It can be a bit jarring. And it's one of those things that it's not, there's no easy fix, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look here. So omnipotent mama, I think I've said that right. Hey, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Your daughter got diagnosed at 12, made a big difference. You got diagnosed later in life, in 50s. And it's a real struggle. And see, this is the thing. There's something amazing about seeing the relief for a child that can really help adults. But from my point of view, I think it's the reverse. If there are people out there, adults who feel they may be and are assessed and are diagnosed as an autistic person, whether they have kids or are about to or planning on, I think it's actually works better even that way. You realize, whoa, the impact this has had on my life. And most people would say my life is basically over, right? I mean, you know what I mean? Like you've come this far. The impact that would have on a child. You think to yourself, what if I was diagnosed as a child? The supports I would have got and all these types of things. Yeah, I think that's it's a really important thing to remember. The power of an adult diagnosis on looking at you and your life and how that can help kids, your children, for example. So yeah, a lot of people talk about a relief. Whoa, Nelly. Okay, I'm trying to work out where we are here. It's jumping all over the shop now. So glad I caught you live too. Omnipotent mama. Are you writing these names just to get me to say them out loud? Anyway, Mama the Spectrum, great channel. Love. Yeah, she's great. The Woodshed Theory. Claire from Woodshed Theory is amazing as well. Now, I think there were a couple of dudes asking me about channels. You might find those to be more mum skewed or autistic women skewed. I personally love both of them, and I watch all their videos. I find them really helpful. But you may want look for more role models, that you can relate to more. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just trying to say that's why I mentioned Hunter. You just put into YouTube Hunter Hansen and Life Autistic. I mean, I'm not joking when I say his videos, some videos have had millions of views. Like, the dude is a legend. I love catching up with him, and he's not currently creating content, but it doesn't matter. There's so much there. All right. So there's a like. I didn't realize. Is there a like button to this? I mean, to this live stream. If you liked the live stream, hit that. I mean, everyone who logs in should hit the like button, because you've joined me, and all that does is it makes a thumb have more numbers. Apart from that, there's a thumb and there's numbers next to it, and the more numbers next to the thumb means the thumb feels less like that word they've spelt out letter by letter. I guess it helps. From my point of view, all I care about is that you guys feel valued and heard and helped. That's all I care about. So if you guys have come to this chat, you've met people, you've had a chat, that's all I care about. I've got to flick through these. I don't want to kind of jump people here. Blue Violets helped me a lot in my research. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Blue Violets. I appreciate that. Thank you for checking it out and being a part of it. And welcome. All right. Mummy Vlogs. Hello, Orion. Mummy Vlogs. Hello to you, my friend. How are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. God, it's skipping every time. I'm doing my best, guys. Hanging with me. I'm doing my best. Wow, Nelly. Okay. Yeah. So I'm the omnipotent mama talking about all the differences in her family. So this is great reading for people in the chat room. This is a great reading, guys. Mummy Vlogs, relationships are too much for me. Okay. Okay, Paul. Married for 12 years. Hey, dude. Do you want to answer any questions?
You know that new game?
You're live on YouTube as you talk, though. So you want to say hello quickly? No, you've got to see on the camera. You do want to be on camera?
No.
If you do, you just talk, and if you don't stay in this room.
Daddy?
Yes.
I realised.
1 second, hang on. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. You okay, little man? You want to close the door? Okay. Sup, Claire. Sup, Claire from Woodshed Theory. My mic's back on. You can hear me. Please tell me you can hear me. My little dude came in to say hello, and he's Gonski. I always like to tell him straight away, do you know what you're doing? You're being put on YouTube. If you don't, you need to get down. I don't think people should just put stuff on there without people knowing. So anyway, Claire from Woodshed Theory. If you on this live stream now and you're in the comments, find Woodshed Theory, find that channel, subscribe right now. Just so we're clear, I'm not asking you. This is not, I'm saying do this. Find Woodshed Theory, subscribe to this channel. Watch the videos. Claire's amazing. She does some great content. I think she's probably one of the, in my opinion, one of the kind of naturally funny, just really awesome people I've ever met. So, hey Claire, I can't keep up with these things, and I'm really bad at this. I'm more used to the scenario of no one wanting to talk to me, so it's a bit overwhelming. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. Woo. So there's lots of people, and I was talking about. Oh my god, I can't keep up. I was talking about, was it mummy vlog? You were talking about relationships. Relationships are too much for me, mummy vlog. Did you tell us why? Did I ask you why are they too much? One of the biggest questions I get from viewers who have found me is they want to know my story of being diagnosed at 55, becoming its therapeutic omni-mum. Okay, cool. If I can work on me, then yes, I'll be more able to see my son. Okay, Woodshed Theory, Claire, the best. My autistic super special interest bordering on superpower is research. Okay, that's cool. That's really interesting. So as I said, guys, I could put the comments in slow mode. Okay, I'm not going to do that because then it'll be too slow for me. And if I do it in the normal mode, it's too fast. If I do it in slow, it's too slow. So I think what I'll do it in like the autistic way, where I like try my best to keep everyone happy but fail miserably. But thank you. There's a few weird comments, questions that I'm not super good on, like the one about what are autistic posture or manners. I mean, I've got lots of videos on autistic traits, if that's what you mean. There's lots of videos on my channel on autistic traits. I would check out those autistic trait videos. It's hard to say in this kind of environment. Hello. Okay. Wow. I'm really struggling here. Mummy vlogs. Every time you write something, I can't find it. Dawn Livingston. Hi, Dawn. I love your podcast. They're very informative and fun to listen to. Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. And I do a couple. I do my own, which is My Friend Autism. That's mine. And I do one for Aspect, which is a different, brilliant. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the shout out to my podcast. A lot of people don't know about the podcasts. And Mummy Vlogs told me it always takes too much energy for relationships, and she's always hurt. I'm no good at them. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And you know what? It's not my place to tell you right or wrong. You do you. And I guess the only thing I'd say is, autistic life is about spoons, energy, and you can only have so many spoons. Yeah. So what's more important to you? Other spoons that drain your energy, or getting rid of some of those other things and having more spoons for relationships? That's really the only thing you can kind of, I guess, think about. God help me, Lord Almighty, to struggle and keep up. Claire, Woodshed Theory, did you write anything else, or did you just, you can write stuff and say, hey, and go and check out her channel too. Wowee. All right. Mummy Vlogs, pro and con list. There are more cons than pros in a relationship. That's what Buttercups are saying, are you? There are more cons than pros in a relationship. Interesting. Is that what you're saying, Buttercups? So, okay, yeah, cool. All right, interesting. I mean, are there more pros are good things and cons are bad things, right? Is that right? Yeah, so it's interesting. Everyone's different. Dating in autism is tricky. Like I told you, I'm married to a neurotypical woman. I'm more happy out of a relationship. Cool, Mummy Vlogs. I'm cool with that. No worries, man. From my point of view, can I say, yeah, I'm just ticking over here. I don't know if this is like appropriate, not appropriate, too much information, not too much information, but I find myself to have, well, to have physical attraction and desires and stuff. So relationships are important for me. Me like either. I don't know what that means. I apologize. Yeah, good. So David's saying, being autistic, he loves being married, but your partner feels neglected. Isn't this a good one? Isn't this a good one for the people in this chat? What a great one. I'm an autistic guy, autistic husband. I feel the same. In fact, I have this like running. It's not a joke really, but I have this thing with my wife. I tell her literally pretty much every other night, I will have a dream. No joke, I will have a dream where she's like leaving me or divorcing me. Like it's an ongoing nightmare, recurring nightmare. I just assume it just, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really hard. And I think neurotypical partners can feel neglected, especially if you are autistic and you have a kid that's autistic, because it's like they might start to feel more like a carer or a support worker than an individual human being. That's why a lot of autistic people I talk to don't want to have kids. Again, that's their choice. Yeah. So I think it's interesting. There's probably other people here that can relate to you feeling like you're a crap partner or your partner would feel neglected. Maybe you feel like your life's all about you. Well, the truth, everyone's life is about them. Right? Like, you came in alone, you're going to go out alone. It is what it is, my friend. I mean, people are important, the enrichment of community. But yeah, I mean, if you feel like people are neglected because you've got to do what is right for you and your peace and your happiness and your health, then I would say to those people, I love you and I don't want you to go anywhere, but you're just going to have to get over that. I'm not ever going to try and neglect you, but yeah, omnipotent mama, this is the issue I have with my husband. We tried counseling and then I pivoted. I unmasked and started doing me. Yeah. Gotcha. I get it. Yeah, see, I would prefer someone else do me than me do me, but that's a different story. Probably. What? No. Okay, I missed something. Whew. Okay. Do you have social anxiety? Was being on radio nerve-wracking at the start? All that kind of stuff. So I'm diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and socialized anxiety disorder. So I have like medically diagnosed forms of anxiety. What doesn't give me anxiety is this: performing. Because I can see your words and I can answer them, but it's just me. I'm looking at myself on a computer screen. Radio, it's the same. You sit in a studio box by yourself. People call up and you talk to a voice. You're in a room by yourself. Could there be a more autistic job? Hey, you can work in a box for 6 hours a day talking to yourself. Sure, there's actually 1 million people listening, but you can't see them. So it's like, yeah, that's me. I'll take that job. What do? I sit in a box for 6 hours and talk to myself. And cut. Oh, it's live. Damn it. So Megan, you were asking about ACE. So we're talking about ACE and arrows, and we're talking about forms of sexuality here, presumably. Asexual, is it aromantic, aromatic? I can't. One is the smell of a dinner, and I always get confused. Yeah, so that's a great question. I think I've always tried to say I relate to demisexual, which is the idea that I've always felt like I need a strong emotional bond to develop those kind of attractions and also that kind of want. And I've found that earlier in life when you're working things out, if you did it reverse, if you tried to fulfill those kind of attractions and those needs before there was any bond or any emotional connection, it always felt, the experience and the feeling was always very bad. And I didn't know that in my younger years until I realized, oh, this is why. I really require that strong emotional, I think they call it demisexual. That's really interesting. It's a great question to ask the community about different types of sexualities. Yeah, it's, God help me, I'm doing my best to keep up here, guys, but it's tricky. All right. So, and now this is some stuff. Buttercups has said it's heavy what Kay Paul just said, which was basically, probably wouldn't have had kids if I knew that I was autistic. That's a comment of someone. And you know what? I think that every day. It's a great thought to think, not because it's good or bad, but because at least you have some sort of insight, right? And it's tricky because life as an autistic person is very much about navigating things that are there to impede you and navigate them in a way where you can maintain some sort of regulation, some sort of peace, some sort of happiness. The more and more stresses and demands you bring into your life, the harder it is to stay regulated. And that's why I always talk about adult diagnosis isn't just about the first two categories, the A and the B. It's also the C, which is the idea that the stresses and demands placed upon you now exceed your capabilities. This is a big thing for adults. Have you got to? So that didn't happen earlier in life. So you slip through the cracks. Now you have a family, a wife, kids, job, whatever. Suddenly, no go. Your capacity hasn't changed, but now the stresses and demands are at a level higher than your capacity can meet. So that's where people do talk about marriage and kids, and I feel that every day. It's an ongoing thing. I'm not going to give you an answer either way. I think about that every day, and it's heavy, but it's real. All right. So people are talking about some traits, and some are talking about things like childish voices and things. Yeah, like I said, I never really like to get into the specific traits and stuff on these types of things because the context can be wrong. And also too, every single individual autistic person is different. Like when I stim, I might stim by singing songs, and they're not all like the cheesy songs, and I do it in quite odd voices, and it can be very frustrating for people. For me, it just feels really good. So it's the sound coming out of my mouth just feels good. And I think a lot of times I like to sing in ways where I can go louder. It's the way it sounds coming out, if that makes sense. It's tricky. It's tricky. But nevertheless, whether you've been here the whole time or you're just joining us now, welcome to this live stream. It's the first and only live stream I've ever done that's had more than one person, and that's usually a paid employee in the cupboard. So it's amazing to see you. I really do appreciate it. And look, the bottom line is, as I always say, live streams are not about me. They never should be. They're about you, the community, the subscribers, the community of my channel. Meet people, say hey to people in the comments, ask questions, get answers, give answers, get to know each other, learn how to read words, one letter a line. I learned that word real quick. It's great, fantastic, whatever, man. You want to write your stupid words, your stupid lines? Awesome, dude. Whatever. I just get more comments and more likes. You're basically helping me. Anyway, gotta love them. So yeah, I'm here for you. The things you want me to talk about, let me know. But I think here's the thing I'm really stoked about, and I want to thank you. I'm looking through all the comments trying to work out what you want me to say, but the majority of the comments are now community members, like tagging other community members with answers to their questions. This is what a YouTube live stream is about, bringing a community together. What can I do for you? I can give you some educational information, entertainment. I can what do they say? Edutainment or something. I can give you that and try to help you with experiences, lived experiences, to give you some sort of insight into autistic life. But, this, what I can do with this is I can help you, but I can bring people together, right? And it's great. I know it's late in some parts of the world. It's lunch where I am. I'm just stoked. I'm so grateful that you've come. And I'm going to quickly scroll through before you guys get bored. It's so hard to keep up. Zooty Tooty. Hey, Zooty Tooty. Alvaro Arana, I think I said that right. Great to see you. Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. You know who. Good to see you. And yeah, what I love about the comments is they need no introduction or they need no stamp from me. They're just comments, and you read through them. And I've made it so you guys can actually read them when you watch this back. Christopher, hey, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I appreciate you're also autistic, so thank you, Chris. Welcome to the community, my friend. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. So there's a couple of conversations going on. Steph, Alvaro, other people talking about weird comments about their voice. Isn't that interesting? Either no one can understand it because it's too soft, or you're intimidating. That's the best. Yeah. And Blue Violets talk about, they talk in weird voices, obviously a bit like what I was saying. Yeah, I love it. There's something about the feeling of doing a voice or singing a song. It's really, I'm embarrassed, and I think it's horrible, and you'll hate me. But I tell you what, let's do an option. I can give you a quick 10-second thing that a go-to song in a go-to voice that makes me feel better, stimming wise. I can do that. I can provide that for you. I can present it. I can perform it now. Just give me a thumbs up in the comments that you want to see it, or a thumbs down if you don't want me to do it, because it's not going to be good. It's bad singing. It's my voice in a stupid voice singing a silly song, but it makes me feel better to the detriment of all others. You want to have that thumbs up in the comments. If not, I won't do it. And back on the voice with some of the people talking about, either they people can't understand them, or they're too loud or too intimidating. I'm 1,000% with you. 1,000% with you. There is like two times. Okay, I'm seeing some people giving a thumbs up. I need a few more. I'm seeing. I see this all the time. How often do I get things all the time of things like, oh yeah, you're yelling. Don't shout, or can you be you're being a bit aggressive. It's like, I'm being aggressive? I thought I was talking to you. It's like, so what do you want me to do? I'm either not talking to you, or when I'm talking to you, it's aggressive, or it's like, help me, help me, Jesus. What do you mean? Seriously? No, I'm not being aggressive. I can show you aggressive. I'm not yelling. I can show you yelling. I always say that. And yeah, it's weird. All right. A lot of people want to see my one of my kind of singing, voicing, stim things. Okay, so I'll do a couple. I'm going to close the door so I don't scare my son. Hang on, I want to scare him. All right. God, help me. If you're tuning in now, you're about to never come back to my channel. Here's some ways I like to use my voice to sing creepy old songs in a creepy old voice, but it makes me feel so good. It's my form of stimming, and I do it a lot of times at inappropriate times to my wife's detriment, and God, does it annoy my 8-year-old autistic son. It just about sets him off past the point of anything. You're welcome. Okay. Oh, I'm so embarrassed I'm doing this. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Oh, are these guns for hire? Even your voice is dancing in the dark. That's a bit Adam Sandler, I think. How about take on me, take me, oh, take me, I'll be good. Woo! was bad. Why would I do that to the world? Anyway, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I feel horrible. I may never do a live stream ever again. That is the worst thing I've ever done. Anyway, it's real. It's real, peeps. People, I mean, I'm autistic. I love singing. Alvaro, thank you for coming to this space. I'm pleased to give this space to you. And like I said, yeah. So a lot of people are talking about that they hate the whole overall aggressive voice they get. Yeah, exactly. It's not aggressive. It's passionate. Well done. I agree with you, omnipotent mama. Does that mean that you're potent in an omnidirectional sense? As in, because I thought the word potent means that, really any direction you're potent. Like if you're how potent? Potent. If you're potent, I'm potent, which means like you're potent, right? So if you're omnipotent, you're potent, like omnidirectional, or is that a microphone? Do you need the omni? Is I guess the point I'm kind of saying. It's like, well, I kind of get the point. I feel like I'm doing a TikTok now, and I'm not going to do TikToks on this. Seriously, I'm out to. I can't keep up. And then we've got our mates. Our mates doing their funny little. Oh, they're just tools. Yeah, our mates doing their funny little messages. I love it. It's great. Well done, guys. Like seriously, yeah. What I should say is, hey, using one letter per line, spell what you are, and it's woo. All right. So I made a complete fool of myself through those silly singing, but it makes me feel good. And like I said, singing in funny voices, talking in funny voices makes me feel good. Another example would be, sometimes if I'm at that stage and I need to stim and people won't stop, they may ask me a question, and instead of like answering it, I might just go, yeah, fantastic. That would be fantastic. Great. Hey, great. Fantastic. And it's got no reference to what they're saying, and I don't care. It's like, I can't talk to you anymore. You're not listening. I'm gonna lose it. So you're gonna be a contestant on my game show. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm just gonna say fantastic. Great. What's that? The kids are sick and you can't get out of work, so it's just me with the two kids at home for the next week. Fantastic. I can't wait. That's gonna be so great. To this point, my wife's in the corner crying. Not from laughter. I'm just about shot, peeps. I'm just about shot. So I've got to. What is it with you? Do you want me to catch up, or do you not want me to catch up? For the love of God. Here we go. All right, so thank you guys for cracking up and enjoying. I hope you enjoyed the singing. It was really bad, but yeah, I smashed it. I appreciate that. And yeah, these are the kind of things people suppress, right? But it's so important to do that. Your kids tell you to stop singing. Exactly, I agree. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are finding a lot of things each other that's really relatable. How good is that? Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that with us. Well, I appreciate that, because I feel like an utter moron. If you could describe you, do it with one letter per line. Oh, okay. Well done. Oh, good description. Moron. Hey. Oh man, I'm out. I got to go. I'm doing my thing, but I don't know if it's right. It's the wrong thing. I want to say hello to as many people as I can. Amanda, are you there? Yes. Thank you, Amanda, for coming. As I say goodbye, you're fired. Megan, thanks for coming. Potent. You're just potent, mate. Yeah. Tim, who else is still here? Wants me to say hey before we go? Yeah, no, it is a funny word, mate. Yeah, you're very funny. You're very. That actually isn't a word, because you've only got one character, one letter per line. So technically you haven't created a word, but you wouldn't know because you're a moron. See you, Megan's, PSN, Catch Up, Buttercups, Alvaro, PSN, Blue Violets, Zooty Tooty. Again, this is not about me. This is about you. Make sure you hang out with each other and get to know each other and help each other and support each other. When this goes online to watch as a replay, this should be there and available. We'll even get to see these fun dudes spelling their little words. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah, great, fantastic. You know what? What do you think about that? Good, great. Piss off. Apologies. We're out, my friends. Thank you so much, Steph. Thank you, Dawn, Dave, and everyone. And stay in contact with everyone, guys, and catch up in the comments and the videos and things, right? Because you've got my community. My community is right there. You just got to comment on any video, any post, and you're there together. Have an amazing day. Good night if you're about to go to bed. Though, how could you possibly sleep after this level of entertainment? You tell me how you could possibly sleep without this level of entertainment. Megan, could you ask me, could I start a Discord? You know what? Can I be honest? I'm an autistic dude. I don't even know what that means. What does that even mean? I'm going to look into it. I apologize. I'm going to look into it. I don't know what that means. I thought, isn't that like people that are angry with society? Anyway, I'm doing my best. I'm out. A social website. Okay. Yeah, I haven't got enough ways to connect with me. I've just got the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, the website, the YouTube channel. I mean, I reckon I do need more. So, but thank you, Half Yeti, all man, the best name ever. Well done. Thank you for coming, and thank you everyone for being a part of this. Okay, so I'll look into Discord, guys. It's okay, Megan. It's all good. It's all sweet. Thank you once again. I really do appreciate it. This is all about you guys in the community. So the more people you can invite into this community to subscribe to the channel and be a part of these live streams, the better. If you guys have enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and say thanks so I can do this again. And hopefully we can do another one very, very soon. But in the meantime, stay potent and stay autistic. And I'm now going to sing myself to sleep. And that's it from me. Love you all. Bye, my friends.